Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back. I'm Katja and I have got 10 or 11 books to share with you today. I've put timestamps in the video in case you want to dash off and listen to the mini reviews, no spoilers, for various books. So if you're sticking around for the introduction, just a few updates. I'm hoping that I will get into the rhythm of doing 2 videos a week, but my goodness, I really take my hat off to other creators on BookTube for managing to do a schedule of two videos a week because it is really time consuming, isn't it? July has been so busy. I don't know what it's like for you at the moment, but I am rushed off my feet. I have painted my kitchen, felt really, so exhausted from that. And also, I have started by myself with no help the bathrooms. Um, I haven't even finished this room. I'm sure you can tell because I was intending for the white wall on this side to be green like everywhere else. So I've got to finish this room. But it's just like one thing after the other that's really catching my attention in terms of what I want to do. What I did know that I couldn't do is the garden. And so I've actually paid to get that done, and someone professional's doing it. And my goodness, it is labor intensive. So my hat's off to hats, well, one hat, off to people who do this. I mean, the guy that's been working on my garden ended up with a terrible migraine because we've been having really high temperatures at the moment. So he's taken a day off in between, but we're getting there, and I'll show you the results when it's completed. Here's the in between. So, other things that have been going on, I have sort of been out of circulation. Though I said I was going to be being social, catching up with my friends, I managed that at the start of the year. And then I sort of like tapered off. And the reason being Camp NaNoWriMo. I am determined to finish a book. I have always written short stories, written the starts of different books, but I have never finished a book. I finished a novella, but I want to reach 50,000 to 80,000 words, full book. And that's been going sort of like up and down. I started off really slow, and then this week and the week before really picked up. So this week I've done, let's have a look. 3,627 words one day, 2,338 the other, 3,299. And this morning I had a blip. I told myself I wasn't going to be editing, but I did edit and I cut words. So I don't know. I was at 20,044 and I cut myself down to 19,708, which, why? I want more words. I don't want less. But anyway, and I've got a friend who's going to be going through my first draft. So I don't need to go through the draft. I just need to concentrate and write. But it is such a struggle. Now, if you're also interested in things like Camp NaNoWriMo and writing and stuff, I'd also recommend checking out Margaret Pinard's channel because she's had a lot of people talking this July about writing processes, and she's even included discussions on artificial intelligence, and they talked about the pro writing aid tool that does editing, which I'm trying not to do. I'm not trying to edit, but anyway, so they've talked about all of these various tools. Do check it out. She does all of her shows as live shows at the moment. I don't think she does very many sort of like scheduled videos. But yeah, it's a real resource. Someone else is the creative pen. I think that channel is fantastic for hearing the latest in terms of technology, publishing, and more. Yeah, but I'm going to be rambling if I carry on talking this way. Other things that have been going on to us, talking about being social and how that's dropped off because of this. But I have been chasing one of my friends who's ever so popular all the time. Everyone always wants to, hang out with her. And I've been like, I still haven't taken you out for every year I take her out for her birthday. And her birthday was ages ago. And finally she said to me, oh, I'm available. So I was like, yeah, okay. And it's on the same day that I'm going in the evening to a barbecue. So I have skipped breakfast today because after not seeing my friends for a while, I'm going to see one for lunch and one for dinner, and I'm just going to be so full. I mean, I'm supposed to be dieting, but hey ho, socializing. So sushi lunch. and some amazing barbecue in the dinner side of things. So dinner with my friend Simon has come about because his wife has actually slipped a disc in her back. So not the most pleasant of circumstances, but thank you to both of them for actually thinking of me and giving me their ticket. I'm looking forward to it because I'm going to be seeing pottery and all sorts of things. It's a Japanese themed day or evening. So I'll feed back on that. Hopefully I can take some pictures, but I always get really self-conscious about taking pictures out and about, which explains probably why I don't tend to go into the whole vlog side of things on here. I might try it one day, get outside my comfort zone. We'll see. But anyway, I will now go into the books because that's what you want to hear about. They are a diverse range of captivating books across multiple genres. So let's dive into some emotionally charged novels, mesmerizing, is it mesmerizing memoirs, action-packed space operas, and delightful historical romances. I think those are the ones I'm talking about today. We'll see. Anyway, so I went to see My Father by Kyung, Sook, Shin, translated by Anton Her. This book is emotionally charged in places. I think it's meant to be throughout, but for me, it was in places. It takes us through grief, family, and personal growth. The story follows a woman returning to her childhood home, unearthing buried memories, and confronting her past. Now, Shin's writing is incredibly evocative, painting vivid images of the Korean countryside and delving into complex emotions. However, the pacing can be a bit slow, and if you're already familiar with Shin's writing, then you, like me, may notice overlaps with her other translated works, including Please Look After Mother and The Girl Who Wrote Loneliness. Now, this familiarity with the scenes and character profiles didn't sit well with me, as I was expecting a really fresh experience. If you're interested in Shin's novels and you haven't read it before, don't let me put you off because I'll add there are little to no overlaps with her other translated works like Violet, The Court Dancer, and I'll Be Right There. I think I Went to See My Father still offers moments of insight and beautifully crafted prose. For me personally, it just fell short of its potential, but it definitely remains a poignant exploration of grief and personal reconciliation. Greek Lessons by Han Kang is a mesmerizing and introspective story written in a way that feels like a memoir that explores language, culture, and personal growth. In this unique story, the main character is a selective mute grappling with grief and loss. She then encounters another individual fighting their own battles. Kang's writing is stunning, with lyrical prose that will transport you to Korea, to Germany, and various places internally too. She weaves sensory experiences into the narrative, inviting us to contemplate the power of language and the impact of losing spoken words or other senses. It's a deep exploration of the human condition and delivered beautifully. The book's portrayal of social isolation is hard hitting. If you enjoy slow paced, slice of life narratives with subtle details, Greek Lessons is worth a read. It's captivating and for me had a perfect ending which lingered in my mind long after the final page. The Blighted Stars. This is going on a totally different pace, action packed, by Megan O'Keefe, and character driven space opera following the thrilling adventure of Tarquin Mercator, a member of the powerful space exploration family assigned to monitor the mining of a new planet. Now, Tarquin finds himself stranded with a group of individuals, and they're all struggling for survival. One of the strengths of this book is the character driven nature with well developed characters and vivid world building. The blend of political alliances, alien life, and romantic tension adds depth and intrigue to the story. This is an accessible science fiction. It's really enjoyable, easy to read. Fans of action packed space opera with a side of romance will find this an immersive read. When a Scot Ties the Knot by Tessa Dare. This is just a fun read, a delightful historical romance that will sweep readers off their feet. Set against a backdrop of societal pressures, the story revolves around Madeline Gracechurch, who creates an imaginary Scottish suitor to escape her circumstances. When a fictional love interest shows up in the flesh, she has to navigate the consequences of her deception. This is just such a romp. Dare's writing is filled with humor, wit, and charm. It really captures the chemistry between Madeline and this unexpected suitor. So, When a Scot Ties a Knot is heartwarming, a satisfying read, and it's got some steamy scenes. So, it's perfect for historical romance readers seeking a charming and entertaining escape. Black Water Sister by Zencho. This was, again, a really good read. I think I lucked out, actually, now that I think about it, with my recent reads. Captivating urban fantasy, steeped in Malaysian culture and mythology. We follow Jessamine. She has been possessed by the spirit of a deceased grandmother. They are like chalk and cheese, so this is an interesting thing to explore. She's grappling with her newfound connection to the supernatural world, has to navigate family secrets, gangsters, and the clash of tradition and modernity. Cho's writing is vivid and evocative, immersing readers in a world where spirits and gods coexist with everyday life. It is action packed, there's mystery and cultural exploration. Also, it is a diverse read, and I would say that for Blighted Stars as well. I forgot to mention that LGBTQ plus representation in that one and this one. Then we go on to Tea and Murder, again another LGBTQ plus representation. This one's hard to define. Speculative fiction. Think of tea houses where sentient mind ships serve tea and investigate crimes. It is, yeah, it's a little bit mind bending, definitely engaging, rich world building, compelling characters, murder mystery. Ah, It's refreshing, imaginative. Yeah, blending fiction, science fiction, and mystery elements. Highly recommend if you're into speculative fiction. The Tiger and the Wolf by Adrian Tchaikovsky. This has such scope, epic fantasy novel that takes us on a thrilling journey through a world of shapeshifters and ancient rivalries. The story follows Manier, a young woman torn between two powerful animal clans as she navigates treacherous landscapes and political intrigues to discover her own identity and inner strength. Now, Tchaikovsky's world building is rich and immersive, introducing us to a complex society filled with fascinating characters and deep rooted conflicts. Fast paced action, intricate plot, compelling protagonist. So, The Tiger and the Wolf is captivating from start to finish. I love the scope of this world, with some characters traveling from the south being hyena and crocodile shifters, which I've never seen before. And there are just so many details that elevate the characters and the world. Highly recommend. For fantasy readers, of course. Polaris Rising by Jessie Mihalik. Thrilling, action packed space opera adventure that will keep readers on the edge of their seats. But it is a very steamy read, far steamier than the romances that I've just talked about, set in a futuristic world where corporations rule and interstellar conflicts loom. The story follows Ada von Hassenberg, a member of a powerful noble family caught in the midst of political intrigue and danger. Mihalik's writing is fast paced with a perfect blend of adrenaline pumping action, intricate world building, and compelling characters. Ada is a fierce and intelligent protagonist who navigates treacherous alliances and deadly threats with wit and determination. The author's attention to detail and knack for creating intricate plot twists makes Polaris Rising an enthralling read that will leave readers craving more, especially if they like steamy novels. It's a high stakes plot, captivating romance, dash of political machination. Yeah, perfect for space opera readers. It is written in first person as well, which I haven't read in ages. I think I've just gotten used to not reading that. So it took me a while to switch to first person, but it definitely worked for making the action even more palpable. Then we get to Fuzzy Nation by John Scalzi. Oh, this is just so fun. It was really. It was thought provoking and thrilling, but it was also just quite cozy. It's strange to say cozy when it was, like lots of stuff happening and there's some violence in there as well. But it combines humor, adventure, ethical dilemmas into this captivating story. It's a reimagining of H. Beam Piper's classic science fiction novel, Little Fuzzy, and Scalzi puts his own twist on the tale with his signature wit and sharp writing style. So we follow Holloway, a roguish and charismatic prospector on the planet Zarathustra, I think it was, yeah, known for its rich deposits of valuable minerals. Now, when Jack stumbles upon a potentially lucrative mining site, he's so thrilled, but he unwittingly becomes entangled in a conflict between a corporate mining company, and a group of small sentient creatures known as fuzzies, only because he named them fuzzies. Anyway, as Jack's ex becomes an advocate for the protection of the fuzzies and their rights, while the corporation he is contracted by wants to turn a blind eye to their sentience, Jack is thrust into a battle of legal, moral, and ethical proportions. So the characters in Fuzzy Nation are vibrant and well developed. Holloway, in particular, is a memorable and very flawed protagonist with a sharp wit and unpredictable nature. The Fuzzies are just purely endearing. The writing is fast paced, filled with snappy dialogue, clever banter, fantastic interactions between the characters. It really keeps the reader engaged and entertained. I think it strikes a perfect balance between action packed scenes and some moments of reflection that explore the moral implications of Jack's choices and the consequences of corporate greed. The themes add depth and substance to the narrative, elevating this to a really memorable standalone space opera. Because I find with science fiction, as with fantasy, you end up being pulled into long series, but this is a standalone that is just so satisfying. Then we get Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Fawcett. A curmudgeonly professor journeys to a small town in the far north to study fairy folklore and discovers dark fae magic, friendship, and love. So where she travels to in the north is very reminiscent of like Norway. Anyway, her encyclopedia is something she's been working on, and she has heard news about a lot of fairies in the north. So she goes off to investigate. She wants to spend like a year there because she's one of these academics that does really in-depth field work. The narrative style is really engaging. There are a few hints that Emily is neurodivergent. Her academic nature doesn't always help her in social situations. I think it's less common for neurodivergent characters to be portrayed, as really truly brave. And this is where I really enjoyed Emily's character because she is shown that way. Too often, I feel like for neurodivergent characters in books, the is on retreating and being uncomfortable in situations. So they try to avoid sensory overload, social situations, and overwhelm. That might be accurate for some characters, but Emily was different and therefore bucked the stereotype. For her, she processed things, allowing her to navigate some life threatening conditions that she didn't fully appreciate the danger of until her theories and solutions had been applied and the moment had passed. I like that. Definitely recommend this if you want a cozy read with some action and a sprinkling of romance. It's just really heartwarming. So, yeah. So those are the books that I read. I think it's 10. I wasn't sure if it was 10 or 11, but I think it's 10 books. We'll find out at the end. Thanks so much for joining me, and I hope to be back soon. Wish me luck with my writing. I just want to, finish something, have something to edit. It might never see the light of day. It's probably going to end up in a drawer, but it's a personal goal, and I'm trying. So, yeah. Good luck with any of your own personal projects, and take care. Bye.